Who are we here with today?
What's up, bro? My name's Isaiah.
Now, how old are you? What line of business are you in, bro?
I'm 24 years old, and I run a software that helps people automate their business.
Now, for the people that don't know, tell us exactly the service you provide.
So basically, bro, I have two companies. My first company is credit and funding. So I run a school community where I help people learn how to build credit, fix their credit if they need that, as well as get access to capital. And then my second company is I run a software that develops AI agents. So basically, what these are is these are AI employees, but they're more advanced. So you can train them with knowledge bases, FAQs, all the stuff they need to learn about your business to answer your clients' questions and stuff like that.
So, what is credit, bro, and how can it be utilized?
So credit, bro, essentially credit is the system that we use in the U.S. that basically gives us a score that tells lenders how credible we are to pay loans back. So the better your credit score is, the more access to capital and borrowing power that you can get. Um, yeah, you can use it to leverage it and make money in whatever business or field that you want to grow in.
Now, let's say someone goes through your credit repair slash funding process, and now they have the capital to start that business. In your experience, what business in 2025 do you think they should start putting their money towards?
All day I would say anything with AI, and I'm not saying that just because I have an AI company. I'm saying that because AI is the fastest growing industry right now, and there's so many different ways you can leverage it to make money. Especially using funding, it's usually a lower capital business. You might just have to invest into some type of software development or something like that, but that's going to be the bulk of your investment, and after that, it's going to be pretty promising, and you can automate it so it does the work for you.
Let's say people listen to your advice, they start that AI company, and now they made their first 10K. What is the secret to scaling from 5 figures to 6 figures?
For sure. So I feel like once you start getting in that 10 to 30K range, it's pretty much just duplicating at that point. Now you've already put a system that works. Depending on what business you're in, you've already put the systems into place to be able to make a decent amount of money. And from there, maybe you just need to get more outreach. So now you start investing into ad spend or marketing, or maybe your conversions aren't that good. So you invest in employees or AI agents that are going to help you track your client success and make sure that your clients are getting the best experience, and setting up like affiliate programs and stuff like that. Just get more people to your program.
So I seen you did a recent video fully made with AI, which I really like, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Where do you see AI going? Just to going deeper, do you think it's gonna keep on expanding, or do you think it's just a trend?
Yeah, no, it's gonna definitely keep expanding. Like, there's too many like multi-billionaires and even trillionaires that are investing into the AI industry. I do think eventually it's gonna start having some limitations put on there. Like right now, I see AI in the near future taking out even content creators, because now, just like what you said with the video that I made, that was more of like a cartoon style, but they actually make realism videos like that. So I don't know if you've seen them before, but there's like AI content creators now that do like get ready with me. So I know eventually they're going to tune down on that just for monetization reasons, but all the other business industries, you got to kind of get with it or get lost. It's going to take over some.
So do you have any systems in place that help you get more tasks done?
Yeah, for sure. Automation all day. And that's what really got me into the AI stuff. Initially, I didn't even start it as a business. I really started it from my credit company, because what happened was I scaled very fast at first, which was a blessing. I scaled to like 3,000 clients in my first like year. But because of that, I had to start putting a lot of systems on autopilot, like little tedious tasks like onboarding people, getting information, collecting payments. I used to do a lot of this manually, and it used to like really stress me out when I had a lot of clients, even following up with the clients, onboarding them. Like, it was really stressful, and I started to realize this is a pain point and a solution for a lot of entrepreneurs.
So you actually have a partner, right?
Relationship, yeah, I'm a girlfriend.
What advice would you give to a young man that's in his journey to become successful? What traits would you give him to look for in a partner, so he's able to discern what's a good partner and what isn't?
For sure. I feel like, honestly, just having that relationship with God is going to give you that discernment in general. It gets to a point where you start to see certain women for what they are, once you really tap into your faith. And I feel like that alone makes it easier. But I feel like when you're looking at women, the best trait is to look at them as a business partner. And this doesn't have to just go to people that are entrepreneurs, because once you actually start a real partnership, like the way that it says that we should in the Bible, not these situationships and stuff that's going on nowadays. Like a real partnership. You guys are gonna have kids together. You guys are gonna eventually buy a house or property together. You guys are gonna have to at some point split a type of bank account. And once you can trust somebody in business, I feel like you can trust them with anything, because money is one of the easiest things that will tempt people, that will make them run off and do bad things. So I feel like once you have a woman that shows you can trust her as a business partner, you can trust her as a partner in general, I feel like that is easier. And you can see that through how they work, how they cherish things, how they treat the men in their life. That's also important as well. Like, or, if they're teachable, that's another thing, because not every woman is going to be perfect. Not every man is going to be perfect. And regardless, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, you're going to have to understand that you guys are two different imperfect people. So as long as you have somebody that's able to make changes when they need to make changes, I feel like that's how you get a good partner.
You say if she's teachable. Can you expand on that? What do you mean on that?
Yeah, and when I say teachable, I don't want people to, look at that the wrong way as like, oh, he's alpha male or anything like that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like in a relationship, again, like I said, people are very different. We come from different backgrounds. We have different traumas. We grew up in different households and stuff like that. Or we have different relationship experiences. And a lot of this affects how we react in a relationship. What works in the last relationship, or even better, what didn't work in the last relationship, and what got you out of that relationship. Those same habits wouldn't work, in a different relationship. If they didn't work there, they're probably not going to work now. And I feel like a lot of women, especially nowadays, and even men too, for sure, like, we're just so unteachable because we're so prideful or so cocky, or we feel like, oh, can't nobody really tell us nothing, deal with me, I am the way I am. And you don't have to necessarily change your whole identity to be in a relationship, but certain things have to change. You can't live the way you lived when you were single is the way you live in a relationship. And a lot of women compromise. They're not willing to compromise. They want to just kind of come as they are, and and I feel like if that's how they are and they're not willing to change at all, if it's beneficial towards the relationship or towards you, then that's not the person for you.
Okay. I remember I was watching a YouTube video of yours, and you said, we don't have an education problem, we have an execution problem.
Nice.
Can you expand on that, bro, for the people that didn't get it?
For sure. So, like, nowadays, I feel like everybody at some point is on some type of social media app, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, doesn't matter, reels, we're scrolling. And the things that we choose to consume, even now sometimes, we consume, BS, stuff that's funny, whatever the case may be. But every so often, I feel like regardless of how much BS you consume, everyone's FYP has some sort of educational content on it. You see somebody trying to teach some type of skill, or telling you how to do something, whether it's make money, whether it's to start a business, whether it's to learn a skill that can help you make money or start a business. And a lot of people know that these things exist. A lot of people even save the video, watch it all the way to the end, 2x it to the end, but when it comes to life the next day, they're doing the same things. They're not applying it and adding it to life. And the people that do are the people that see success. It's quite literally that simple. And I wish that a lot more people would apply it, because if they did apply it, they would start to see the outcome. And I feel like we would just have a lot more happier people in the world, because once people reach certain goals and stuff like that, it's not going to change everything. Money doesn't make you happy directly, but it will make you a lot more comfortable, and it's going to give you a lot more opportunities in your life. So I feel like everybody should experience that in some sort of way.
Now, I think it was in one of your videos as well, you talk about the importance of networking, but not just meeting new people, but meeting the right people. What do you mean by the right people?
I feel like nowadays it's very easy for somebody to look like they provide value, especially because of the perception on social media, right? Somebody has certain material possessions, or they show that they've hit certain numbers or certain achievements, and automatically we look at them as like this reputable person, right? But in reality, some people do that by cheating, some people do that by lying. And not all company is good company. Just because somebody looks like they're in a position that you want to be in, or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that that's always good business. Sometimes people that don't show it, or the people that you may think aren't valuable to you, will be some of the most valuable people in your life. And I feel like a lot of people need to just get a better idea of how to feel people out when they're networking. Like, not everyone has your best intention. I learned that here, especially in this city. Like, one thing I love about this city is there's so many entrepreneurs, and people are so hungry. But because of that, it's a lot of sharks. There's a lot of people that's willing to, cut you under the belt so they can get what they want to get. As you're growing and you're trying to network and grow a business, it's very important that you keep yourself safe as well. Don't just take the first shiny opportunity that's in front of your face. look at it from the outside in and decide, take an educated guess. Like, is this actually a good company? Is this person actually going to help me? What's their intention behind helping me? Because you can get yourself in a lot of bad situations or bad investments just off of the wrong company.
Now, as you become successful, I'm sure you limit the people who you get advice from.
For sure.
What gets you to listen to someone's advice now?
I feel like the most important thing for me is just to see that you have experience in that field. And I feel like that's a hard thing because sometimes we grow up, we're used to taking advice from the people that we love. Sometimes our parents, sometimes our siblings are our best friends. But as you grow and you start to set certain standards in your life, certain people just cannot speak on things or give you good advice in that department because they just simply haven't experienced it. And a lot of people, they will still have an opinion. They'll still tell you what they think you should do or what they seen someone else do. But in reality, the only person that could really give you any type of decent advice in that field is somebody that succeeded in that, So again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying with the material things. Don't always look at material things to decide whether somebody has it together or not. Look at the principles, look at the systems that are in place, look at, what they have going on. Like, for example, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to ask people about a relationship issue,
don't take it from single
don't take it from single people. It's quite literally that simple. Like, it doesn't matter how much they love you or how much of their friends that you think they are. In reality, they're not applying that to their life currently, so why would you listen? And it's the same thing with business. It's the same thing with investments. Like, all of these type of things, you have to be very careful who you take business from or who you take advice from, because sometimes you'll take this, you'll apply it to your life, and you're taking advice from somebody who doesn't even believe in the dream that you have. Couldn't even see that for themselves. So now you're self-sabotaging by taking that advice, applying it because you think, oh, okay, this person loves me or they have my best interest at heart. But in reality, you just got to look at the receipts. You have to see how people are performing. Like you said, if they're single, they're probably not the best person for relationship advice. If they're not the best with money, they're probably not the best person for investment advice. So it's just, I try to look to people who have actually been through what I'm trying to get at.
You mentioned family. Are they proud of you?
Yeah, definitely. Like, my mom is definitely proud of me for sure. I feel like,
was it all worth it? My bad.
No, for sure. I feel like it's worth it, and I feel like outside of the being proud thing, because I don't like, I like when people tell me that they're proud of me, but I don't like it because sometimes as humans we get a dopamine off of it, and it makes us almost egotistical or complacent, satisfied. Yeah, it makes us feel like, okay, we're comfortable, and I feel like, I could chill here. Yeah, and the most important thing to me, like what feels good, is like I was saying earlier, being able to do the small things, like being able to help my mom with some of her bills, being able to send her money when she needs it. If God forbid something happens to her car, like being able to replace that makes me feel good, and it's not the material thing. It's just that I watched my mom struggle. You know what I'm saying? From when I grew up, like I don't come from nothing. Like, quite literally, everybody has that same story, but it's true. Like, I don't come from nothing. I've seen my mom paycheck to paycheck, working 2 jobs, like to the point where like she couldn't even be that present at home because she got to get the bills paid. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing her being able to work a job that she wants to work because she likes it and it makes her comfortable, not because she has to. Like that's the biggest blessing of all. I feel like,
even though you're able to provide and take care of your family now, what makes you still look for more and get more than where you're at right now?
Disappointment that I would have in myself to not be able to do that anymore. I feel like, people that really love you, they don't stay around for what you can do for them. But the scariest thing about being able to provide for people is people start to depend on you. Even with me, I have employees and stuff like that they're depending on me every single week to keep their lights on. Like, quite literally, my employees, they all live overseas and stuff like that. So like, they're depending on my check, and the scariest thing to me is to not be able to provide. I think that's what keeps me going. Now it's not material things. I kind of got out of my phase of buying dumb stuff, spending money, and then even idolizing material. But I feel like now just the thought of not being able to provide, the thought of letting people down, to me, that's what keeps me going.
You started as a personal trainer too, right? Whenever you first started posting content?
Yeah, so a little bit. I was more like a free game personal trainer. I actually never ran like no full personal training program because honestly, like I'm a perfectionist, right? So I never, especially at that time, I wasn't a business owner at all. I was working a 9 to 5. I worked in IT and search engine optimization. So like, because of that, like I wasn't yet comfortable in like developing a product or a service and selling it. I just want to give out as much free game as possible. So I would make diet videos, then workout videos every single day, alternating. And I mean, it helped me grow a platform. Like I wasn't selling no meal plan, no cookbook, no personal training. Like it was just free game. You know, like, comment, share. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How big is health even to this day for you?
It's essential, bro. Like even though now I might not always be showing that I'm at the gym and stuff, I still go like 5-6 days a week, sometimes 7. I'm consistent with cardio because health is wealth. Quite literally, like it doesn't matter if you have goals and you want to be successful in whatever type of way, any type of material or financial or whatever type of goal that you set is gonna mean nothing if you're not in good health to celebrate it. I look at it down the line like I kind of want to wait if it's in God's will for me to have kids, you know, until I feel, you know, like we're having a conversation, you're never ready, but till I feel ready, to my understanding of what ready would be for that situation. And I just feel like once I get to that point, I might be a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? I still got a little bit more grinding to do. So I want to make sure that I can enjoy time with my kids, that they can enjoy the fruits of my labor, and I'm not, you know, in a hospital bed, God forbid, or dealing with any type of medication, all because I didn't take it seriously right now, you know? So yeah.
Now you're a very fluent communicator, bro. I gotta give that to you. Have you always been like this?
Nah, bro. Actually, like, believe it or not, I'm actually very antisocial. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but anybody that's been to high school with me, they'll tell you, like, I was the dude that, like, I would get an A on my project because I would do it so well, but I would end up actually getting a B because I would skip the presentation part, which would be like 20% of the grade. I get so anxious when I get in front of people, and honestly, when I got to the military, that kind of broke that because when I first got into basic training, they seen that I was shy and they seen that I was good at, you know, doing tasks, but they just seen I was shy. So what they did to break my shyness, they put me as the platoon guy. So they put me in charge of all 50 people. Like the first 3 days, like I wasn't even telling people my name, and they put me in charge of everybody. And then it like really built character for me, and I feel like that made it easy for me to like start posting on social media, because before that I was like a ghost. Like I had like 3 posts and like 500 followers. I never posted nothing.
Now, I see it on posts all the time that it's always about the journey, not the end destination. What do you enjoy the most about your journey right now?
Honestly, just learning. Like I feel like a lot of people, they get discouraged by learning, or they're scared to learn because sometimes learning puts you in a painful situation, or it might not have the outcome that you have. But I appreciate every part of it because I know what not to do next time, right? Like that's the best thing about the process. Like once you get to the end, it's kind of like, okay, what else now? You know, there's nothing else to chase. But when you're in the process, like even when you get let down or you lose, you're like, okay, I know what not to do next time, and now I can try to do it without doing that, and I can do it better. And then when you actually achieve it, it feels good because you really worked for it. You really went through everything. It's not instant gratification, you know? So yeah, I let it process for sure.
What has been the last lesson you've learned so far? Maybe about business, life. What's been the last lesson that you're like?
I feel like the lesson that I'm learning recently, which is very like powerful to me, is, you know, see people for who they are and audit your circle. And I feel like that's something that's very hard. I've been like preaching that a lot in my videos, but it's because I went through it in life over the past couple of years. Like sometimes the people that you're used to or that you love the most, they might not be aligning with where you're trying to go. And that's okay. You don't have to necessarily cut them off and never talk to them again. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't essential for you to see them for who they are and understand that that's not where you're trying to go, and understand that there has to be some sort of separation if you want to get to the next level. I feel like a lot of people that I see, like even my friends and even myself, like a lot of us will get pulled down due to our circumstances around us, oftentimes people, environments. And when I really let go of some of the things that were the hardest to let go of, sometimes it might be friends, sometimes it might be a relationship, sometimes it might be habits, right? A lot of us have things that we cling on to, and if it's not aligning with where you want to go, if you let it go, your life will be so much easier. You'll get to that point so much quicker, and the pain that letting that thing go cause you is not going to outweigh the benefit that you're going to get from separating yourself.
I like that, man. Without giving too much game, what's next for you, man? The next, I'll say 5 years, 10 years, what's next?
Honestly, my goal is just to grow my platform and empower as many people as I can. Like, I don't care too much about sales anymore. I've been blessed to be able to be in a business now that I can finally run faceless, so I don't feel like I'm like enslaved to my social media and stuff like that. So my goal is really just to actually use my platform to grow community and grow a community of people that have similar common goals, you know, and that goal is just success, faith, finances. Like, that's what I want to bring, because I feel like right now with all the negativity that's pushed out through the media, through content, through music, why not start something positive and let's just grow off of that. You know what I'm saying? We can fight against all the negativity in the world. It's just we don't have enough people taking initiative to move in that direction.
Yeah. What do you want to be remembered as?
Honestly, an educator. I never thought I'd say that. Like, I never was like a teaching type of person, and I don't necessarily think that I know more than everybody, but I just love to educate people on the things that I know about. I know a lot about credit, and I know a lot of people don't know about credit, so I want to educate that. I know a lot about, you know, AI. I know that's up and coming and trending, so I want to just be able to educate on that, and not just educate people, but give them tips and tools that they can actually implement and use in their life, and it makes them better. So that's what I want my legacy to be.
Even as an educator, we're always a student in life. Who are you learning from right now?
Right now, I learn from a lot of people, bro. Like, I would probably say on my screen time, the app I spend the most amount of time on is YouTube. So I learn from everybody on YouTube. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, Eric Thomas, Alex Hormozy. I like Myron Golden. I like all of those type of people. I watch a lot of motivational speakers. I watch a lot of pastors. I'm always learning from pastors. So whether it's my pastor at my church or the ones I watch on YouTube, like Stephen Furtick, Jerry Flowers. I like to listen to people who, like I said, are doing better than me in that category. A lot of the pastors, they have a lot better of a relationship with God, and they walk in faith a lot the way that I want to. So I like to listen to them. A lot of these motivational speakers, they move crowds, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to have that impact on people. So I like through my voice, right? So I like to see how they do that and learn from them, and even just skills in general. Like, I never feel like I have it all figured out. I'm sure, like, what do you do for work right now?
Just trading, and I manage some valet locations downtown.
Okay, exactly. So even with that, like, I've dipped into a little bit of trading, but how much trading you're doing, like when I'm seeing you posting on your story and stuff, you know way more than I do, right? So it's like when it comes to that, so it's like that's something I want to learn about trading. Like, I'm always looking to learn from people around me. Everybody's different and has, you know, strengths that they're strong in, and I just always like to absorb as much as I can. Just be a sponge, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're absorbing the right things. It's the most important thing.
Now, a lot of people pray to God to get them out of a situation rather than to become stronger in it. Can you give me an example of when God allowed for things to happen in order for you to become stronger, take action, and overcome it?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like even when I first got into business, I used to do car rentals. That was like the first thing that I pursued. And I feel like one like storm that I wanted to get through was just dealing with so many like issues and so many headaches with clients. When you rent out cars, you deal with like a lot of accidents and stuff like that. And sometimes you'll think that the solution to the problem is to just, you think the solution to the problem is to be like, okay, I'm going to pray to God that I get better cars or that I get better clientele. When in reality, like, I'll pray and then the next day my car get totaled. Like, one of my cars in the fleet get totaled. And I'm like, damn, like, this isn't what I expected. But in reality, he was trying to teach me that maybe that wasn't the field that I needed to be in. You know, I was trying to sit here and pray for better and more abundance in this specific business model, when in reality, he was trying to show me that, hey, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this isn't your calling. And sometimes that's hard to accept as a Christian. Sometimes we'll pray for things and we expect to pray to God for things and automatically get what we're praying for. But sometimes we're going to get pushed in the direction towards what we're praying for. Sometimes we're going to get pushed towards our purpose and our calling. It might be something that you never even expected or maybe never even wanted, you know? So, yeah.
And why do you believe in God?
I believe in God because he literally saved me. Like, you know what I'm saying? My whole life, I've always been like what I would call a lukewarm believer. And I feel like a lot of us are lukewarm believers. I feel like even a lot of us that are like Christian, we fall back in the lukewarm type of ways sometimes. And because of that, I've always believed, but I didn't always trust in him. Kind of earlier how I was saying, like, you need to trust in God. I didn't always do that. I would take things into my own hands. I would lean on my own understanding. And it got to a point where I've hit rock bottom before and like got everything taken from me, and it gets to a point where like you're no longer able to fix things on your own. You know, as men, especially as business owners, like we have this issue where we kind of always want to just fix stuff ourselves. And when you get put in a position in life where you get really humbled by God and you literally can't get out of that unless you lean on Him, that's when you'll like truly start having faith, and that's what happened to me.
Now, there's a verse that says, confidence in an unfaithful man is like a bad tooth and a foot out of joint. How does a man gain true confidence and garner the respect of his peers?
I feel like that's like completely aligned with having trust in God, because with that phrase that you're saying, a lot of people get confidence and they're unfaithful to God, and then what happens is they get egotistical and they start to glorify themselves and put themselves on a pedestal, and that's how a lot of people start getting their blessings snatched from underneath them. That's how a lot of people start, getting closer and closer towards the enemy by feeding into that, like glorifying and idolizing themselves. And I feel like just to have trust in God and to walk in your God-given purpose and to live life like that, you're going to automatically do right by people. You're never going to get too cocky or glorify yourself, because you know that God is the only one on top. So I feel like once you center that in your life, it makes it a lot easier when you're successful to not let that get to your head, and you can be confident, and you can be confident that you're good at what you do, and you can be confident that it has impact and it helps people, but you're never going to get too confident to the point of, oh, I'm this or I'm that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that the only person up here is God, no one else.
Amen. So in another verse, it states, seek first the kingdom of God and all things will be added on to you. What do you do in order to hear God's voice and guidance?
I mean, I feel like the most important thing is just having the trust in the relationship. I remember when I was more so lukewarm, I would pray every night, and it kind of would feel like, I don't know if you've ever felt like this before in your journey, but it would feel like I'm not really talking to anybody. Like I know I'm praying because it's routine, but it's like you're not connected enough with God to feel like He's actually listening. I feel like after really putting in that trust time and time again, that's when you start to build a closer connection with Him. That's when your prayers actually start to feel like a conversation, and that's when it's easier to hear His voice with everything else. So even when you're asking for discernment, or if you're asking for signs, once you know Him and you trust Him and you have a relationship, all of those things are going to start to become a lot more clear.
Now, lastly, if you were to die tomorrow, God forbid, if you were to die tomorrow, what would be the guiding principle that you would leave with the younger generation today?
I would just say live for you. I feel like nowadays so many people are stuck in their phones, stuck in social media, and they live for that, or they aspire to live for that. And not that you can't have aspirations or goals or material things that you want, but just live for you. Live for in your purpose what you really want. Like, just because something is trending and it's cool doesn't mean that you have to make that your goal and your purpose in life to chase that because everybody else is doing that, or everybody else is making you feel lesser than because you don't have it. I feel like if more people focused on what they want out of life, they'll get to their purpose a lot faster.
Appreciate the time, brother.
Like, brother, appreciate you.